brain fundamentally knows that the spirit's in charge, and that's what I am. Hey, welcome back to Uncivilized Rebirth, where we go in and work on reprogramming the damage that this society has done to reconnect with our spirit and find out what our purpose is. I think everybody can agree that the society we get raised in, nobody gets out of it unharmed and unhurt. And the amount of trauma and tragedy that people have to endure is ridiculous. And I even think my own story is quite phenomenal in everything that I've endured. But you know what I find out? There are people out there that have gone through 10,000 times more than I have. And they are still here enduring. And you wonder, why are they enduring? You know, how does that happen? Is it just stubbornness? Is it just the unwillingness to quit? Or is it that these people who have endured so much and healed from it have a much higher purpose and calling? And that might be to find other people that need help healing. And I truly believe that is what my mission is, to help people connect with their mind, body, and spirit and get them on their life mission. Because there is not much about the structure of our society that is designed to get you out there. I looked at the time and be like, hey, listen, little human, we're going to find out what your spiritual mission is. We're going to love you. We're going to make sure you have this great environment, and we're going to prevent all this trauma from happening. And it's going to be an amazing time raising you. How does that actually happen? Oh, you're born? Okay, cool. Now we're going to give you injections because you're part of the herd. Okay, now you're 4 years old? Cool. We're going to go put you in a building with strangers when you cry and scream for your mom, but that's just what we do. We go put you in pre-K, where you don't want to separate from your mom and dad. Oh yeah, your mom and dad are probably going to get divorced pretty soon also. So this piece that you have, we're going to make sure it gets destroyed. Good luck with that. Oh yeah, by the time you're a teenager, you're going to be in a school going somewhere every day that you do not like until you're 18 years old. Oh yeah, we're going to take you, or we're going to send you to youth groups. We're going to send you on school trips. We're going to pawn you off on after school programs, and we're going to keep you busy, busy, busy. And guess what? All these situations, your parents aren't going to be there. They're not going to be watching out for you. So all the predators are in society have this great field to play on. They get to step in and be like, where do I want to go with all these children that are gathered without the parents? Well, I'll tell you what, I know people that's happened to. That's happened to me. I've served with plenty of people that had that happen to them. And it's still happening today in our society, and it breaks people. It's literally designed to break people. How do you reconnect with your spirit? Like, how do you heal from that? How do you take a step back after years and years and years and years of trauma and torment and repair from all that? Do you go sit on a couch? Do you take pills? Do you just go on some ayahuasca retreat? You know, like, how do you reconnect with your purpose? How do you heal your body, heal your mind, reconnect with your spirit, get on your purpose? Well, that starts in the brain. The brain has to identify as a spirit first off. Not that the brain is a spirit, but what is control of the body or the mind is the spirit. Not identifying as in I identify as the ego or I identify as my personality. That's just the character wheel programming. Because you could have been programmed to be almost anybody. But you're programmed now because you were basically a pinball that got thrown into just some crazy pinball machine, And every hit that knocks you around programs you. So if you had been raised in another country, you would have spoke a different language and had a whole different set of events happen and ways of being taught that would totally turn out a different personality. So you have to take your personality and just trash it and throw it away and be like, okay, that's not who I am. It's a programming in my mind. So you got your brain, and then you have your mind. Your mind is not your brain. Your brain is not your mind, but your mind has your personality programming in it. And your brain is the processing unit for information coming in, recalling information, displaying it to your awareness, and then presenting information into the world, as in how you move your arms, how you talk, and all that good stuff. The brain is a processing unit. It's not who you are. A character reel is not who you are. Your spirit is who you are. So if you're wanting to get into alignment with your mind, body, and spirit, your mind needs to fully submit that your spirit is in charge of it completely. And that means that the mind has this underlying tone that's always knowing like, oh, I'm a spirit, I'm a spirit, I'm a spirit. Just like if you you follow a sports team and you follow the games and you root for a certain team, and there's this underlying tone about your whole existence of, I'm all about this team. It's like, I wear this color. What if your underlying tone at all times was, I identify as a spirit. I identify as a spirit. It's like, that no matter what, at the core of your being, that's what you are. And then your brain just will fundamentally know it's almost going to be 333. It's 332 right now. So your brain fundamentally knows that the spirit's in charge, and that's what I am. Then once the brain is in full submission to the spirit, the body can come into submission to the brain. Well, the reason that is because a lot of what happens in our world, I'm looking at the time again, is our reactions to what is happening externally. So let's say somebody whistles at you or yells at you, and you're like, oh, what? And you run over there. You do not have to do that. You are responding to something programmed into your brain. Let's say you hear sirens go off and no, that's a terrible example. Basically, when you see external stimuli in the world, it triggers something in the world for you to react a certain way or act a certain way. Or if somebody talks to you and asks you a question and then they look at you stupid, like, when you don't answer, then you do answer, or they demand an answer and you keep answering. Well, why? Like, why keep answering? You don't have to. Like, you're answering to programming of like, I'm answering this, now you must respond to that. So the goal is to override all of these external stimuli so you don't react to anything in the world whatsoever. And that all of your instructions and programming comes from the inside. So it's like you're in there controlling your brain. It's like, I'm going to say this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to act this way. I'm going to do this. For example, so let's say we're going to take me, for example. I have a parental unit who abused me severely. And over the years, that parental unit would like to say and do little things that were gaslighting, to act like it never happened and to act like I was just a bad person. But they knew this would trigger me and I would get mad and enraged and I would act out. And then they could step back like, oh, he's just a crazy person. Well, no, I was acting out and I was responding to a stimulus that was buried deep in my brain. I wasn't controlling myself in a spirit manner. I was just allowing my reactions to take over, like these pre-programmed in reactions of just like getting mad and freaking out. So it's like people know how to trigger you. You know what that is? It's their words or actions controlling your actions. They're going in your brain, they're activating a marker, which activates processes, and then you do those things. Our goal here is to override all of the external stimuli and they no longer have an effect on you, where all of your programming and your directions are coming from the inside. This is putting you in alignment with your spirit, mind, and body, and that is the hierarchy which it works in. Most of the time, our hierarchy is when you wake up, your brain starts going crazy, like, I got to do this, got to do this, got to be here, got to do that, got to do that, got to... And you're trying to just respond to all this stuff in the world and make everybody else happy and to do all this stuff. What if you would wake up and your brain would just stay blank? And it's like, when I come to this next task, I will do this next task. And your brain is not operating out of responses to try to conduct itself in the world to the way that it was programmed to conduct and what is demanded of you, because you are a slave, actually. You're not a free person, but I'm a terrible person for saying that. So when you reprogram your brain with a new character, then you're programming everything from the inside and you're choosing how to conduct yourself. And in that process, you're bringing your mind, body, and spirit into alignment. And when your mind, body, and spirit are in alignment and being fed properly, then your body naturally, absolutely naturally takes care of itself. You don't get sick anymore. You don't have joint pain and aches and all this stuff. It's like your body just knows how to take care of its stuff. It's just doing a good job when it's in alignment, operating properly, because there's this deep core operating system that knows how to take care of the human body, but we have been fed so much garbage in our bodies and told so much crap that we live in a way that overrides the natural way of being. All right, I don't know if this is a high horse or a soapbox, and I hope this made sense. But getting into alignment means reprogramming your own brain to identify as your spirit first and foremost. And directions are not coming from the outside to put back out. The directions are coming from your spirit, and then it's going into the brain, into the body. So the ultimate goal is to be absolutely non-reactive in the world. And I'll tell you what, when you do that, it allows people to be exactly who they are at their worst. Because if somebody doesn't get the old reactions out of you anymore, they are going to kick it up a notch to try to get those old reactions out of you, because your reactions to them validate who they think they are. And that's the way they get validation. And when they can't get validation, they turn into a toddler, just blah, a little bit. But I give them grace because they don't even know what they're doing. Okay, Roadhouse, I'm done. I hope this made sense. I think it did. If you have any questions, leave them below. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm not good at any of these videos. Every single one of them is different. And I don't follow a content creator guide to do a specific thing. And I don't use like hooks to try to hook somebody in, really. I'm done.